Namaste friends, and I hope you're doing well. We're continuing the conjunction series. Let's talk about Rahu and Sun in the second house. Rahu, I don't spend too much time in explaining the rudiments or the tattvas of Sun and Rahu. This is something that you should go through my other videos on YouTube. So, as a summary, the Sun illuminates, or the Sun is the supreme power, right? The Rahu is the personification of your materialistic energy. Okay. Now, when you have these two things together in the second house is the house of the early beginnings of understanding, or rather connecting with your senses. Okay, whatever you receive from the first house, you are experiencing it through your bodily senses to connect with the material realm. Okay, that's what roughly the second house means. Of course, you can get really deep here. But let's continue. So you have the Sun and Rahu, and you have the second house. Now what happens is, people with this, of course, these are both polarities, be it if the Sun is in good dignity or is Rahu is giving good graces, and all these things has to put into consideration. Again, the warning or the caveat here is that do not take this as the ultimatum. It is based on a very solid foundation. Okay, it is not specific. Our charts are very unique by itself. Now, if you have this, the Sun and Rahu in the second, first of all, this person is very connected to the family. Okay, he or she adores what the family is doing to him or her. Okay, he doesn't neglect the parents. This family I'm talking about is your mom and dad and your siblings. Okay, so he or she never neglects them, never ever. Okay, they are always grateful for what they have taught them, because Rahu's propensity is to connect to the material world by any means, and the agents of connecting to the material world happens to be in the second house, which is your own family. So your siblings, you're very close with them. Your mom and dad, you're very close with them. And it's regardless on how they feel about you, you are always supportive, you are always protective, possessive sometimes towards them. Okay, there's this strong bond between you and the family, because they are the one that's helping you to expand in life, right? The other thing is, Rahu and Sun creates a good synergy when it comes to success, rather creating a very successful identity within a person. Remember, Rahu is interested for you to remain in the material world, so that you will make the same mistakes again and again, and you will be born again and again. Okay, it gets a little bit theological here, but the fact remains that Rahu is not interested with spiritual gain. Rahu is like, he takes whatever that Ketu is providing. Okay, the energies that Ketu is providing, and then it has its own synergies with other grahas, and then distributes that in this birth, which is why Rahu is always looking forward with new experiences in life, right? And so what happens is, it creates good, successful identity of a person. You can use this, as an exemplary. People who have Sun and Rahu in the second show good, how can I say? They can lead into a very successful life in a very short span of time, and they would not have fears and phobias and low sense of esteem, self-esteem. They won't have all that. They have a strong backing up from the Sun. And remember, Sun is all about. Is the king, is the supreme, and Sun always has the better positions in any chance. Of course, again, it depends on the state of it, but as a general rule of thumb, Sun always takes precedence. Now, Sun will always teach some lessons to Rahu, saying that yes, you are very excited to see the life and all that. You're very connected to your family. You like to have whatever the world is giving you, right? Which also means that you can have a good sense of the material world, but please do not go out of bounds, because Rahu can easily go out of bounds, go out of the perimeters, right? It gets greedy very easily, because that enthusiasm, that fiery feeling within him to gain new knowledge, to gain new experience, to be precise, is so strong. So having a stern sun beside him creates that control, chaos and balance, which is why I'm saying it's a good position. And over the years, I've seen many charts, and some of the charts that I have gone through, which has Sun and Rahu in the second, has these capabilities. So that's some of the features of the Sun and Rahu in the second house. These people would like to buy things, okay, not to please their friends or neighbors or anyone else, but they want to please themselves. So if they buy a new Ferrari, for example, they are very pleased that they bought it, and that creates a good dharmic feeling also. Because Rahu, now what's going on here is that although Rahu is buying that expensive thing, that the thing that he really wants, but there's also a dharmic value here. Where's the dharmic value? The dharmic value is he is not being boastful, right? He is not being ostentatious about whatever he has got. He is being self-indulging, okay? He says, yes, when I sit in the car, I don't need people to look at it, okay? I am enjoying the moments right now, okay? And why he has the dharmic value is because of the conjunctions of the sun with him on the second house. So like that, things he'll buy, he'll procure, if he sees something, he will definitely go after it. It's because the second house is all about creating that self-identity, to focus, to start off, or to kickstart your life in this material world. So I'm just doing a little projection out of that feeling that Rahu and the Sun has. Now, all this gains very personal values to the Sun, because the second house is personal values, right? So the Sun and Rahu together creates this beautiful synergy on personal values. Some of the places where I've seen online, the way they have talked about Sun and Rahu, or some YouTubes, seems very contradictory. And of course, maybe they have their own point of view, but from my experience and the way I understand, or rather to come to understand, is that these creates good synergies. If you have this combination, if you don't see much, then I strongly suggest that you perform some remedies under it, okay? I do provide remedial service, so if you want, you can always contact me. And let's see what else we can talk about Sun and Rahu. The Sun and Rahu is always creating that feel-good personality within, okay? They always, they are seen as someone who is never had a sorrow day in their life. They are always seen as very happy. They are always seen very motivated. Now, because the fact remains that they are always, positions of the Sun and Rahu in the second house always showing they are liking towards experiencing their self, to create the personal value. So they'll do anything and everything. They'll learn instruments, they'll learn finance, they'll try to save a lot of money, they'll make their family happy. All that will start to do by themselves. It's self-generating, self-perpetuating feeling, I would say. Okay, so that's a little bit about what Sun and Rahu does, and I think you can understand where I'm coming from and what I'm trying to convey. Okay, so I hope this has been beneficial. So if you're new to my channel, do subscribe. There's many videos to come, especially on the conjunction series. Actually, I'm trying to focus mainly on conjunction series. Only when I see some questions coming, I'll try to do some off topics. But for the most, I'm going to do conjunctions. All right. So thanks for supporting my channel. It's a big thanks from me to all of you, and I hope you gain some knowledge by coming to my channel. So till the next time, thank you. Namaste.